Yo, what's up? What's up? We're getting some decent action. We're getting some decent action here. INVO seems to be kind of like a sympathy momentum here so far with Visa. Actually, no, not exactly. I can't say it's sympathy. Usually, sometimes sympathy kind of reflects exactly the chart, obviously, as the main leading gapper, which is Visa. Visa has been up now. This is the second day. Visa has been up from about $1.82 all the way up to $11.50. Crazy, crazy stuff. I made a little profit here down on the first day. Completely, didn't trade any of these moves here. I was not up at 7 a.m. trading this, but crazy. Do I think we're gonna get more? I don't know. I mean, we did reclaim back over VWAP, which is good, and we topped out 1150. So now it's put in the tie, consolidating. We seem to be reclaiming previous support that we broke down. So it seems like it's potential for another move. So we'll see. Visa, let's take a look here at the spread. Spread for 8 cents there. So 8 cent, 10 cent spread. I might need to use bid and an offset. So yeah, Visa, let's take a look here if there is any news, extra news or fresh news. Looks like no news since this morning or since yesterday morning. INVO. Let's see here. Traders digest earnings after rate-driven low. No, that's not it. INVO trading higher after company reported year-over-year increase in Q4 results to reach its goal. Remains on track to reach its goal of reaching break-even within its current operations in 2024. So its goal is just to break even in its business, which I guess the market seems to like that. But we're coming into some areas of resistance here on the daily. You can take a look at the daily. So we previously could not hold these highs. And looks like we topped out right near that level. We had some selling, pulling back. Now, are we going to pull back and hold the $2 level and then rip and break these previous highs? That is the question. Then we also have another high here at 3. Going to draw out a level. Is INVO going to be the one? Is it going to be the one? I'm not sure. It is up quite a bit, 173%. It closed yesterday at 70 cents. Closed yesterday at 70 cents. How much higher do I think it's going to go? Relatively speaking, it's already up. It already probably maxed out at 200%, which is pretty decent coming into pre-market. Remember, PALI yesterday was up about, what is that, maybe 200%? This was up 120% pre-market, which is the pre-market leading gapper. Had one little pop to the upside, which is hard to capture, and then just dumped without any significant bounce. So, we've seen stocks that have crazy pre-market charts that at the open, they just fail. So, it's always a risk with trading these pre-market runners into the open. So we always have to be, wary and be prepared for anything, because we could get that bottomless dip that we don't want to get caught in. Visa back over 1050. Back over 1050. It's looking pretty good here. Oh man, I guess I'm gonna have to start trading Visa here after completely missing this move from $3. So it literally sat out from $3 all the way up to $11.50. Might as well now start buying at $11.50, right? I hate when I miss a huge move and I'm the one now trying to jump in at the high, because it just makes me like more fearful of just being that guy, you know, getting caught in flushes instead of capturing profit. You shorts are loving this stock. Lots of room to the downside. Good for us. Yeah, lots of room to the downside, but it's also, you have to time it. You know, you can't just, yeah, the stock may come back down to $3, but if you shorted yesterday at, you know, $7 and you're like, all right, I'll cover at $4 or $5, you know, to come all the way back down to $4 or $5, it needs to go up to 11. Are you going to be able to hold all the way up to 11? No. Well, you're probably going to cover and then try to get back in. And, you know, so eventually, you know, it may come back to that $5 level, $4 level, but you have to time it, you know, or else you're taking much more risk than your potential reward. Even now, you know, let's say you're short back up at 11. Now we're already back up at 11. It may, by the end of the day, it may close at $5. It may close at $5, but, you know, getting there, it may need to go to 15 first, and you may be $4 underwater. Are you going to be able to hold through a $4 underwater? Probably not. You're probably going to want to cut your loss and then look to get back in. So, yeah, there's a lot of room to the downside, but timing it is a whole nother project or difficulty. SBFM just had a recent reverse split here. Sub 1 million share float. No news though. But we have seen, you know, reverse splits turn out to be short squeezes, so I'll put an alert there just in case. What is a trap? A trap is where we either break resistance or break support and then reverse and go the other direction. And the reason that's a trap is that, let's say, you know, we look at Visa here. We look at for the break of 11.50. Longs are getting in for the break of 11.50. We break 11.50 by 10 cents, but we don't close above 11.50 and we reject and we come all the way back down to 10. That's a trap because longs were anticipating another move higher. However, we rejected that level and now we're panicking out. Longs are panicking out because we're rejecting, forcing the price lower, and that kind of fuels the move to the opposite direction. So you'll see the false breakout, and then it fuels the move to the downside. That's why, you know, after a trap, you'll get a significant move in the opposite direction. So, and then also to the short side, you know, this, you know, I guess technically this could be a trap fueling the move to the upside. You know, we're breaking a little bit of a bear flag here, breaking below. Shorts are adding to their position here, maybe looking for a continuation lower, and then we bounce back up and reclaim that support, and that fuels the short sellers, fuel that move to the upside, to breaking resistance. Not all the time it does a trap, but I would say a good portion, a good percentage of the moves are triggered by traps. Longs or shorts getting trapped on the other side of the trade. It's very rarely where it's just people not covering, but only just buying as a long position that will end up into a massive move. It does happen, but a lot of times it's also just because the shorts are trapped and they're adding the fuel to the fire. Here we're pulling back down here to this previous support level. So we had this channel in this area, so we're pulling back down to the channel. What's up, my dud? What's up, dude? Good to know I wasn't the only one that did shitty yesterday, rough-ass market conditions yesterday. Yeah, it was a little choppy for me. I didn't perform very well. But, you know, at least I'm not big red, which is good. Not every day could be stocks that you perform exactly A+ on, but today I'll have another opportunity, which is good. Yesterday is in the past. Today we are fresh. So Visa could be the one to watch. I think for Visa, I know the spread's going to open up because the spread, even yesterday, there were times where I was catching like a 10-cent spread on a $3 stock on like a breakout. It was like maybe like a 6 or 7 cent to 10-cent spread on like a breakout where the volatility was higher. I was still getting filled so high. So I can only imagine that today the spreads are even going to be wider on very volatile areas like breakouts or panic dips. So I want to be sitting on the bid to manage that risk. I want to take a look at the float here on INVO. Held Visa overnight though and got a sell from holding at 580. Dang, good job, man. We haven't seen a lot of multi-day runners, so definitely good with catching this one. Did a few more pre-market trades with INVO and Visa, a few gains this morning. Nice, very nice. Yeah, we haven't been seeing a lot of overnight gaps. The last overnight gap was on rent. A multi-day gap was on rent. INVO is 2.69 million shares, so low float. VIAO is another one. VIAO, this one penny stock. I would say if it can get, it's got to show strength for me to get in. So I'll put an alert at break of 60 cents, and then maybe I'll look for the break at a high if it does make a move. I don't see any catalyst on it though, so it's probably just going to fade. Are you on the 10-15 second chart as well, or just the 1 minute? Just the 1 minute. I only trade the 1 minute. I probably would trade a 15 second or even look at it at least if Thinkorswim offered it, but for me to get it, I have to have another software, but I don't really feel like having another software up. INVO earnings report was incredibly impressive, honestly. Net loss is down and revenue is way up. Oh, well, that's good to know. So INVO, yeah, it does have the Q4 or the was it Q4? Forget what it said. Could be Q1. Increase in Q4 revenue results. So yeah, depending on how drastic that is and how much higher than the expectations were, it could definitely do very well today. Looks like we're coming up right to that resistance though on the daily, which is as planned. I don't want this to pull back too much though. But if we can pull back, hold, and then we can see another attempt here for 240. Maybe we can see a move up to 3. Honestly, I prefer to trade INVO over Visa, since Visa is a little overextended. It's gonna be a little riskier, and the spread's gonna be a little bit wider, and it's on a day 2. So usually I perform better on day 1 versus day 2. So I think I am gonna hopefully, if INVO does well, maybe just focus on this one. Let's see how these oil stocks are doing. Oil stocks down. INVO is down. I know this was moving. Let's see how the overall market's doing. So still kind of chugging along here. Tesla. I've been watching Tesla too because I did get long at 62 down in here in this range, and then sold at like 70s as I saw it wasn't really breaking out of this range. Came back down lower, and I'm looking to getting into it again if we can break down a little bit further. I want to see this previous level here. This previous level is 152. I want to see this break and maybe flush back into this area of maybe 140s before seeing maybe a bounce, maybe at least a retest. I'm hoping at least a retest of this downward trend. You know, even that move could be, you know, a 60-point move if I can capture that in 140s. So maybe I can get in. What is that? I can maybe 50 to 100 shares maybe. If I'm really confident in that move, and that could be couple grand. Could be a couple grand. But who knows? I mean, obviously, don't follow me into this trade. It could honestly flush even further. It could come all the way down to 100 again, or even break below 100. Honestly, I don't know. But back to what we're trading today is going to be Visa and INVO. So looks like Visa is showing some selling pressure here coming into the open. If we break below this range here, back into this range, I don't know. Won't be good. Looks like we're bouncing here. Hopefully we can hold this area, and then maybe we'll see that break of 1150. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to trade Visa. I know it's going to be a freaking rodeo. It's going to be an absolute rodeo. Because how I was trading yesterday was just an absolute crapshoot. It was very hard to capture. I only made like 200 on it. Thoughts on JAGX? JAGX? If you like penny stocks, and it seems pretty liquid. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's quite a bit off the high, but it's only 7 cents, I guess. I don't see any fresh news on it though. It's under VWAP too. Visa. Okay, so Visa. Oh man, Visa looks better right here for the opening surge. So I'm watching that. Good luck, guys. Stay calm, cool, and collected. Market seems to be warming up a little bit. So, but you know, with upside potential is always downside risk as well. Equal downside risk. So be careful, and I'll catch you guys in the recap. Hit that thumbs up button for me on the way out, and I'll catch you guys later. All right, peace.